Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rutan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Have to do the glasses adjustment. Can't wait to get these stick-on prisms out of my glasses. This is kind of a cool episode because I thought I was being very clever here. I got a Albariño from Uruguay, I got a Gruner Veltliner from New Zealand, and I got a Marsanne from Australia. I thought, who the heck does Albariño in Uruguay or Marsanne in Australia and Gruner from New Zealand? I mean, I thought, wow, these are very unique. Well, with a little bit of research, I found out that they do quite a bit of Albariño in Uruguay. There you go. Garzon is a leading producer down there. They do some grape Tannat, which is the national grape of Uruguay. But they do a lot of Albariño, evidently. I didn't know that. That's what research is all about, and I thought that was really cool. I was going to be clever. Not so clever. And then I found out that they do quite a bit of Marsanne in Australia, and this Ta Bilk is one of the leading producers of Marsanne in Australia. Who knew? Now I know. Now you know. Albariño, Marsanne. But I did know one. They don't do a huge amount of Gruner Veltliner in New Zealand. So we have a very unique one. But anyway, we'll talk about these more as we go along here. So we have three whites, and I thought they would be unusual grapes from unusual places, but evidently not. That's okay. We'll keep going here. Gruner Veltliner is most notorious or famous in Austria. You get a lot of Gruner Veltliner there. And to find one from New Zealand, I remember trying this going, wow, this is pretty good. They do a little bit of Gruner in Washington State. I think I did an episode with Gruner from Washington State. But basically, Austria and Gruner are synonymous with each other. We're going to start off with the Gruner from New Zealand. So let's do that. See what we get here. This is a 2023 Jules Taylor Wines Gruner Veltliner from Marlborough, New Zealand. Marlborough, New Zealand. This rolls in at $21. Of course, you'd expect it to be maybe a little bit more money because it's a grape that they don't grow a lot there. But these guys have decided to do it. This rolls in at $21. Jules Taylor, they do some pretty fantastic Sauvignon Blanc, and they do some nice Pinot Noir. Although I have yet to find a good a Pinot Noir from New Zealand that I am totally stoked about. Just saying. A lot of Psalms. Kind of wine geeks get into New Zealand Pinot Noir, and I'm not exactly sure why, because I haven't found a good one yet, or not one that really excites me. I might, I'm not saying I won't, but I haven't yet. Saying. So this is very clear, golden, a little bit of hay color to it. Let's see what we get on the nose. Get a lot of minerality, which is really cool. Kind of dusty rock. A little bit of grass on this one as well, and I get a little passion fruit. Has a little funk on it as well. I get a little funkiness. Melon, apple, that sort of thing. Let's see what we get on the palate. So that dusty minerality comes through on the palate, but it's not a dominant part of it. Nice fresh acidity, very fresh in the mouth. Apple. Melon, a little bit of just a pinch of maybe kiwi in there, just a little bit. Very mellow, not super complex, but it, Gruner is not necessarily a super complex wine in the first place. I'm sure there are some out there that are. They probably have to spend some money to get that complexity. So I even get a little Asian pear on the mid palate into the finish. Nice balance, nice and clean, nice and fresh. Great summer wine, summer sipper. Even in the spring, it's the first beautiful day I've been off on in a long time. It's very sunny outside, hard to be in here in the studio doing this. Not hard, but you know what I'm saying. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I have a little back issue, so it kept me inside a little bit. Anyway, all that aside, very decent Gruner Veltliner. I don't think you could find one in this price range or in the lower tier price range from Austria that's going to be as, complex as this one is. I'm not saying it's super complex, but it does have some things going on. I like the apple notes. I like the a little bit of trying to hit maybe just a touch of peach even in there, but the apple, melon, peach sort of thing going on. A little minerality, fresh, clean, beautiful wine for oysters, clams, anything like that. 21 bucks. Yeah, not cheap but not expensive for a Gruner from New Zealand. I'm gonna go straight up B. I think it's a solid Gruner Veltliner. Now there are some from Austria you can get up into the $40, $50 range, believe it or not. I haven't tasted one yet. I may in the future. Now, we'll move on. This was a kind of a learning experience for me. The 2020 Tabilk Marsan, a certified carbon neutral. That's kind of cool. This rolls in at, believe it or not, $11. And that's the price I sell it at the store at King's Market because I buy it by the case, so you get a better deal on it. And Tabilk evidently does quite a bit of Marsan. They're kind of the leader in Marsan production in Australia. $11. Let's see what we get. Now, to be honest, I've tried this before. I liked it. But let's review it together. Let's do that. Marsan from Australia. Now this is some frickin' serious golden color here. You can see that. I'm sure of that. Very, very golden in color. Let's see what we get on the nose. Not really cool. I get I get a little bit of cut grass, but a little dry. You know, like you cut it a couple of days ago. That sort of smell. Some pear notes as well, and some minerality on this one. A little bit of papaya coming through. Maybe some golden raisin, just barely. Just a little teeny hit of golden raisin. A kiss of golden raisin. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice texture in the mouth. I really like this wine. I get that kind of pear, apple, mango thing going on. A little bit of golden raisin underneath. Very fresh, good acidity. This is very, very fresh, solid wine. And it's delicious. And a little bit of that kind of grassiness coming through. Not fresh cut grass, but like I said, just a couple of days old cut grass, if you can understand. If that makes any sense to you, I don't know. Sometimes I don't make sense. I'm just trying to work through my brain on these flavor profiles, and I'm definitely getting the kind of papaya, pear, golden raisin thing going on, but not sweet. This is a drier style wine, but not super dry, not bone dry, but very dry. And I'm very interested in the alcohol content, and I apologize to Alan. He's my biggest critic. He said, Stan, why don't you just look and see where the alcohol content is before you get started. He is right. I'm not going to find it because guess what? Oh yeah, there it is, 13% alcohol. See, didn't take me that long. But very good. I mean, very interesting wine. Marsan is, basically they grow quite a bit of Marsan in the Rhone Valley. They blend it with Roussanne, Marsan blends out of the southern Rhone. And yeah, they make some delicious wines. The Marsan actually tones down the Roussanne just a little bit, so Marsan tends to be a little bit drier. And I like that kind of, on the mid palate, you get that kind of dusty rock thing that hits as you aerate it in your mouth. And I would encourage any of you to get in that practice at home. You don't have to do it in the restaurant. It's okay. You don't have to do it there. You don't have to show off or whatever. But at home, just practice sucking air through your palate. You get more of the flavors on the wine. And yeah, just a touch of green apple on the finish. I like that wine. I'm going to go B to B+ on that Marsan from Australia, of all places. I did not know until I grabbed it off the shelf thinking, hey, you're going to be real clever, Stan, and do some really interesting grape varietals from odd places. But, there you go. So this is the 2024 Garzon Albrinho Reserva. This was in at $21. And when we hear Albrinho, you know where you're going to be thinking. You're going to be thinking northwest Spain, Rias Baixas, where they do a ton of Albariño. That's really what comes to mind when you think Albariño. Most of us don't think of Uruguay and Albariño. But here you go, they do a lot of it down there. I'm learning as I go. That's the cool thing about the wine world. It's one of the things I love about the wine world. No matter how long you've been in it, you learn something. If you try to learn, you're going to learn something new almost every day. That's the way it is. There you go, Garzon. So this is kind of like the first one. Kind of like the Gruner, very straw colored, very light, like golden. Let's see what we're getting on the nose. This is what I love about Albariño. It's very tropical. Very tropical on the nose. So you get mango, papaya, a little bit of Asian pear coming through on this one. I'm getting some mandarin kind of tangerine thing going on as well. Yeah, very cool. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very good wine. I mean, what I like about this wine, up front you get kind of that mango tangerine thing, and then in the mid palate you get this big lift, like a huge lift of these tropical kind of stone fruits and things going on the mid palate, and then in the finish, it finishes nice and clean. Hardly what you would call a fruit forward wine. It's nice and dry, but yet it has all those flavors. And that's the cool thing about wine. You can find a wine that shows all those beautiful flavors, and yet it is dry. That's pretty cool. In my opinion, that's really cool. And this one has a long finish. You talk about a lengthy finish on this one. I still get that kind of papaya, tangerine, apricot thing going on the back side of the palate. I mean, on the finish. It just keeps going and going, which is really cool. You always like a wine that hangs around a little bit. You know what I mean? Some things you don't like to hang around, like somebody that you don't like that much. But when you get somebody you really like, you want them to hang around a little bit. And same with the wine. You want it to hang around, especially if it's good. A lot going on with that wine. It'll stand up to any Albariño from Rias Baixas, Spain. I like it a lot. $21. You know, these aren't pricey. I mean, obviously the Marsanne from Tablik is a good price. I think if you don't buy it by the case, it goes up quite a bit. But you know, all under 25 bucks. Very seriously good. I'm gonna go A- to A on the Garzon. Fantastic Albariño. There you have it. Interesting white wines from places you may not think they should come from, although Albariño does. They do quite a bit in Uruguay. Marsanne, evidently, they do a lot in Australia. But a Gruner Veltliner from New Zealand is kind of unusual. You won't see it a lot. There you have it. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see what's coming up next. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.